So we are back here with another video, man. Today we're going to be talking about why content creators, well, I guess why and how content creators are ruining my team, man. So let me just start off with, we've got a lot, going on. We got the whole pack strike thing. We've got, the content that was dropped yesterday was kind of the tipping point for the my team community as a whole. So we've got all that going on. And we also made a video, my last video that I posted just before this, about why NBA 2K26 My Team is the most rewarding My Team of all time. So that kind of opened up my eyes about what content used to be like during those times as well, because we looked back on 2K20, 2K21, and it really opened my eyes to how there was all kinds of predatory practices in those games as well. Like, yes, Wemby, like we know it's kind of ridiculous with what they did with Wemby specifically, because there's over 40 pullable pink diamonds, so the chances of actually pulling Wemby very, very low. That's probably the low that we've seen for packs specifically. But with how content used to be, there was all kinds of predatory stuff in the game. And we looked back and saw that the game was not very rewarding. These games are looked back on with people that can't seem to take off their rose tinted glasses. They think that it was way better than it was, whatever the case may be. So anyway, that kind of gets into the whole point that I'm trying to get to, where there was all kinds of predatory stuff in the game, but that is not what the content creators focused on. If content with this drop was how it used to be, do you want to know what content creators would have done? They wouldn't have even talked about Wemby or Jokic or the bad pack odds or anything like that. They would have been talking about how, well, first of all, we would have had videos Monday on which diamond, amethyst, which wild gems you should have been investing in to try and see if you could make a crazy amount of MT the next day. I didn't see anybody make a video about that. I saw people talking about it, but nobody made videos about it. And then also, with these 51 pack boxes, there is a diamond topper. So a lot of diamond wild gems have become very, very affordable, and there's a lot of very, very good ones. No one's talking about that. And the whole pack strike thing actually kind of hurts people that are actually playing this game. And that's the whole thing, right? Nobody's playing this game. DBG doesn't play this game. Ty doesn't play this game other than King of the Court. I mean, I guess Ty's, he's got rep and stuff and everything, but DBG definitely doesn't play this game. There's other content creators, there's other people commenting on these videos that don't play this game, that are still on 2K25, that quit after week one. None of those people have any room to come and just be so negative about everything, because they don't know that this game does actually have positives, right? So that's what the content would, if these wild gem super packs dropped in like anywhere from NBA 2K20 to NBA 2K23, people would have been talking about investment opportunities with cards, and people would have been talking about how a lot of diamond wild gems are super affordable now. But no one's talking about that, so then no one knows that there's affordable cards. Everyone thinks that every card is unobtainable. So we see it with creators as well, where they're influencing people to get off the game. They're influencing people to not buy this game because all that they're showing is the bad parts of this game. It doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, you're, especially from, like, I understand it from DBG's perspective, sort of, because that's kind of what his content has been like the last 3 years. That's what gets him his views, is the negativity, the ranting about the game. That is where he gets his most views. But for people like TyDebo, JC2K, they're actively hurting their viewer base when they are people that, Ty, this game has brought him so much success. He's won 10K in King of the Court a couple times now, and JC's got this whole sponsored account. You would think that people like that would want to be, talking positively about the game, And I get it. There's negative parts about this game. Like, I understand that fully, especially when Wemby needs to be talked about. That is such a slap in the face with there being 41 pullable pink diamonds. You're not going to pull them unless you spend hundreds or thousands. I get that. He should have been dropped in a Friday promo. But there are so many other things that we could be talking about, but no one makes content on them. Everyone only makes content on the negative things. And for people that actually do play this game, like, I get it. Like, we understand it. There's negative parts of the game. There's always been negative parts of the game, though. That is nothing new. There's always money grab tactics. There's always predatory practices. None of that is anything new. But now we're seeing a thing that just makes me really, really sad. And it's because a lot of, like, DBG will say, oh, we're not influencers. Well, these content creators do influence people very heavily, either to not get the game or to get off of the game. And those are two things that I hate seeing, because I've been having more fun in 2K26 my team than I have since 2K23. I just have. I feel like the game is very good for no money spent. I feel like it's very rewarding. Again, if you don't believe me, check out my prior video. But that is what we're seeing now, because there's a lot of people in this community that can't make their own decisions. We see that with people that ask on videos for days about, oh, should I get Sigma or Rice or the Hidden Gem Pack? There's a lot of people like that. They can't make decisions on what cards they want to get. They can't make decisions on what to do in this game. Those are the same type of people that want all these agenda cards instead of just being able to make some MT really quick and go buy a card, because there is a lot of good budget cards, contrary to popular belief and what people are saying. There's a lot of people that don't like to play this game freely. Like, they like to have either the most meta team, the team that Ty likes, or the team that DBG likes. That same group of people, and that group of people actually is pretty large. That same group of people, if DBG or Ty tells them that this game is horrible, they're going to either delete the game or not even download the game to begin with. And that is hurting this community horribly. Because there is some of us left that do enjoy this game, contrary to popular belief, and it makes it worse for us. It really, really does. So I don't understand it. I don't. Like, you're actively pushing away viewers. Doesn't make any sense from a content creator perspective at all. It just doesn't. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that is my kind of statement for that. Now, you guys knew that this was coming. We're going to go ahead and look at some comments, man. Before we do, though, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Both of those things help me out a ton. Oh, there was a couple other things we're going to talk about. So just a couple examples of content creators contradicting themselves. Okay, I want to give these couple examples. In Ty's pack opening that he did on Friday for the Rainmaker packs, maybe not at the beginning of the video, but maybe about 3 minutes in, he says, you guys don't really need the best players. And then about 5 minutes later says, you guys are kind of screwed because you're not going to be able to get the best players. So just complete contradiction. So go and, I gave you kind of the timestamps, at least a rough estimate of the timestamps there. That was one major contradiction where I'm like, what are you even talking about? And then DBG's whole rants about, negativity is not okay in the real world, but negativity towards this game is okay. And saying that, but then in a previous video, he went on a whole rant of like, what is positivity going to do? And what is negativity going to do? I mean, seriously, all it's going to do is drive people off of the game. And it's also going to make it so that some people that would like the game how it is this year aren't playing. That's all that it does. Negativity is not going to, maybe this pack strike, okay. Well, I'm not going to get into it because I'm going to make a video about the pack strike after this, but maybe that will change the packs for the better. Yes. But constant negativity is not good for the community, and it's not good for the game. It just isn't. So, and then the whole statement about negativity is, it's not okay to be a negative person in the real world, but when talking about this game, it's okay to be completely negative. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. I just don't even understand that one at all, to be honest with you. So we are going to get into some comments now on some videos, man. Let's get started here. So some people talking about that there's this whole discussion about that JC2K doesn't really have a sponsored account. He actually is a pack addict. Like, what? That narrative is just laughable, to be honest. So just had to mention that really quick. I haven't played my team since 2K22. So can anyone tell me why cards are so expensive? And then someone commented back and said, there's no good budget cards at all. You shouldn't play. Like, what are we? Okay. So the first issue with this is people say that cards are so expensive because the whales, the whales ruin everything. The whales are the reason that cards are so expensive. Not necessarily. The biggest reason that cards are so expensive is because MT is 5 to maybe even 10 times easier to get. I thought it was maybe about 5 times. After my video, when I looked back on previous Myteams, how rewarding it was at this time of the year, I think it's maybe even closer to 10 times easier to get this year. That is why. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, you know, it's just the whales because they just keep ripping and then they get all this MT from selling their cards. I don't know if people just don't think this through, but if it was only the whales and say all the whales went to open up packs with VC and then went to post all their cards, who's going to buy the cards? That doesn't even make any sense. You just expect this MT. Now, I understand that a lot of that does happen, but insinuating that is insinuating that there's MT that is just appearing out of thin air. Because, yes, a lot of people, buy packs, sell the cards, buy different cards, whatever the case may be. But that is like the example that I will use is day one, right? Why do you think that Kawhi Leonard was only 500 or 600 KMT day one? Because nobody had played the game that much. That's why. And then we go like 3 or 4 days, well, even a week into the future, Kawhi's over a million MT. That has nothing to do with people opening up more packs or the whales spending more money. That's because people are getting more MT from playing the game. That's how the market works. The whole idea of whales are the reason that cars are so expensive, to a certain extent, okay. But it's not just the whales. If it was just the whales opening up packs, you'd be expecting at that point for MT to appear out of thin air, which is just not possible. So I don't know if people just don't think that through. There's just a lot of people that, and we'll get into some of these comments too, that there's just a lot of people that don't think things through. And it's the same thing with the whole player market issue. People saying, oh, it's cheaper to get Wemby, so 2K24 is better. Well, are you thinking through the whole situation? No, you're not. So don't come at me with this whole, oh, I can't compete in Showdown this year. You're super dumb for saying that the player market's not as good. Like, there was a few people that commented things like that, and I just went at them and they, cussing at me and stuff. Like, there's been a lot of this stuff happening, and then I'll just delete the comment, or the comment won't even show up because it's full of swear words and stuff. And I'll just comment back and say, you sound like you are such an unintelligent person that I'm not even going to waste my time. Because what else can I say? I mean, obviously, I just made a 20-minute video talking about why the player market was worse than how my team is now, with proof, with evidence, with things that you can't really, argue back on, to be honest with you, most of it. And then you're going to come and still say that I'm an idiot. So that's kind of how I'm going to treat comments like that from now on. But anyway, let's move on. 2K24 actually had challenges, had stuff to do, had good content, good rewards. If you try to say the special inserts was bad, it sucks, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, blah, blah, blah indeed. Let's just skip this and kind of give like a little bit of a summary. Only way you can afford Wemby or Yao is you got to wait a minimum before it. So basically just ranting that 2K24 was better. Okay, so let's move on to some of the replies. And he said, dude, you're just rambling incoherently. 2K24 is a disaster. I don't see how you can call other people who like 2K26 bootlickers when you're defending gambling-only content. I got a squad with Jaren Jackson Jr. and the 3 pink diamonds from last season, so I'm good. No money spent and all. The amount of people that I say that if you actually play the game, it's amazing how you can get rewarded if you actually play the game. The amount of people that are expecting just to get free cards from logging in for like 2 hours a week is higher than it's ever been. And you're never gonna get cards that can compete for only playing that often if you're no money spent. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on. 2K24, you didn't have to win 200 showdown games to obtain the ultimate prize. It was only 70. Okay, let's go into showdown really quick. Season prizes. Let's go down here. It is actually 75 wins in 2K26. It is not 200 wins. So just more false information. The season 2 mode completion is 75 wins. It's not 200 wins. So settle down a little bit. I'm sure, stuff like this, all this misinformation, misguided stuff. Like, obviously, if this guy doesn't know that the ultimate, mode completion is at 75 and not 200, obviously he hasn't played much Showdown. And if with him talking about Showdown specifically, that insinuates that he is a Showdown player. So basically what I'm getting at is it doesn't sound like this guy's really even bet on the game, which is where a lot of this complaining is coming from, is people that aren't even on this game. And to me, that's just not fair. Because then it's misinformation galore. It's, that's what happens, man. The player market was the best for everyone except weirdos that sit in the auction house menus. What's up with this whole new trend of people hating on the whole sniping community and the auction house community? Like, I've never seen hate on that portion of the community before, but the last week or two, we've even got people like Ambush, like well-known people in the community, just throwing strong shade at people that like to sit on the auction house. Like, what is up with that, dude? Can someone enlighten me? Like, why are we hating on that portion of the community? I just really don't get it. Like, that portion of the community, I'm a portion of that community. I like to sit on the auction house. You guys know how much MT I've made on the auction house in the past. You guys know that, you know, I'm someone who likes to do that. And I just really don't understand it. It comes from that whole thing of like, that whole group that's kind of speaking up, wanting the player market back. Like, oh, I could get Wemby for $50 or $100. That was way better. But screw everybody else, because the game is literally not better for any other group. So yeah, I don't understand the hate on the auction house people, the auction house community. It is just not, and it's not taken lightly. I'm gonna fire back at it. So yeah. Anyway, uh, this person is talking about why DBG is the reason why the game is declining. I would agree that he's part of the reason. I truly would. Um, and then there's people talking about getting, so that there was that comment about that DBG is kind of driving people off the game, all this and that, which I do believe that that is kind of true. Then there's a person talking about how he's got an Ami Franz that he got week 1 of the game for really cheap, and he's got a bunch of badges on him now, and he's really, really good, and he could sell him for a bunch of MT if he wants. So people basically talking, a couple people talking about good things about this game, right? And then the person that said that thing about DBG. And then we, of course, have, there's always got to be someone who comes in and calls both of them a shill for defending all of this atrocious behavior from Take Two. Like, come on, bro. Like, there's no need for that. There's no need for people to be going at people that are enjoying this game. I don't understand that. I know that it's like the trendy thing to do to quit this game, but that doesn't make people that are still enjoying this game or still playing this game worse, or they don't need to be looked down upon. It's very childish and immature, to be honest. Okay, and then this guy. I'm sorry, I'm going to call this guy out because he's left comments replying to me, and I'm going to have to call this guy out. But let me read the comment first. You don't get it. That's some of the issues right now, is nobody having the cards they want to use. It's called Myteam, not a team that 2K gives you. Well, if you actually played the game, you would realize that it is very easy to make the exact team that you want, as long as it's diamond or under. And the amount of options that we have, we've already been over this. Wild gems, we've got 200, almost 200 diamond wild gems, almost 200 amethysts, almost 200 rubies. And then any promo card that's diamond or below, besides maybe Jaren Jackson Jr., is very affordable if you actually play the game for more than 3 hours over the course of 2 weeks. That's an exaggeration, but you guys know what I'm getting at. So you don't get it. That's some of the issues right now. Nobody having a team that 2K gives you. For almost all casual players, these cards are unattainable. Referring to Jokic and Wemby, it has always been like that. Why are people acting like this is a new thing? That the top cards are unattainable from a week to week basis for most players. That's always been a thing. I don't know why people are, deciding to rant and rave about it now. Um, what if I want to play with Wemby or point guard Jokic? Use the free agent Wemby. Go and yeah, I understand maybe there isn't a Jokic that you can go and get, but I mean, come on, dude. There's like some really, really good point guards that you can get as well as some really, really good centers. You're never going to be able to use all of the players that you want. That's not how my team works. And if you're looking for that from the experience of my team, you need to just kind of maybe go and play like a play now with or a my NBA, my franchise, whatever the hell it's called now. Go and play that and then put all of the all-time players in a draft and then just draft who you want and play it out that way if you want to use exactly who you want to use, because if you want to get every specific card that you desire, that's not going to happen. And it's never been like that. So Jokic is one of my favorite players, but can't get him. I never had this much of an issue obtaining cards in older games like 2K17 through 23. We already looked at 2K20 through 2K23 yesterday, and contrary to popular belief, it actually is harder to obtain the cards that you want in those games. So anyway, this guy, he's got a lightsaber as his profile pic. I thought about, revealing his username, but I'm not. And all he does is defend DBG. Anyone that has anything positive to say about this game or anything negative to say towards DBG, he just defends it. So you got a lightsaber as your profile pic. Why don't you go ahead and go hop on DBG's lightsaber? That's all that I got to say to you, because you defending and all of these people defending DBG and Ty, like, you think that they care about you? They don't reply to anybody's comments. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to start anything here, but they don't care about you. Why do you care so much about them? Like, truthfully, I'm just trying to understand, is the bottom line here. I just don't get it. Okay, let's continue. This is why 2K keeps doing, because you guys and point guard center in October is literally the time desperate for money, you don't even care about guys. Why should I spend my mortgage rent for a year just to use a 2K card? Don't. You don't need Jokic. I don't know why everyone thinks all of a sudden that they need the best card that drops in every drop. Never been attainable from a week-to-week basis. No money spent. It just hasn't. Wild Gems single-handedly ruined the auction house. So you're telling me that you would rather have like 10, no, let's say 20 promo amethysts up to this point, that there is like 2 or 3 of them that are meta and everybody is running those over the hundreds of cards that I get it that cards are, an amethyst might be 40K instead of 10K, which he would have been in past years. But we've already highlighted that nobody understands the market. Nobody understands how easy it is to make MT. MT is way easier to make. So it really all evens out at the end of the day. So we're not even going to talk about the cost, because all of those complaints come from lack of understanding. But anyway, you're telling me that you would rather have like 10 or 20 ruby and amethyst from the promo drops, and maybe like 4 or 5 of them are meta and everybody is running them. You would rather have that than all of these choices? How does that ruin the auction house? I don't get it, dude. I am failing to understand. I chose to buy 2K26 on my PS4 first to play my team, and then buy new PS5 Pro on Black Friday. Now seeing my team state, I don't think I'll be playing this year if most of the gameplay you can get is buying packs. These are the comments that make me sad. These are the comments that upset me, because that is what is being portrayed. This person, because of the content that these people are making, thinks that the only content in the game is opening up packs. That's just, it's horrible for me to hear things like that, because no, You can go and get more rewarded than ever by playing a game mode like Breakout. You can have a lot of fun in All-Star Team Up and Triple Threat Park. You can go and play Salary Cap if you wish to play a 5-on-5 mode where the rewards are decent as well. There's so much to do, and all of the complaints about these badge challenges that people would rather have, player challenges instead of this. Like, I'm sorry, that is a take that comes from casuals. It just is. Because I don't want 30 different sapphires and rubies and then maybe an amethyst as the ultimate reward where none of them make my team. I would rather have badges that I can add on to my pink diamond wilt or some of my pink diamonds that I have to add value to them. I would rather have that. And then this also gives me an incentive to grind the game. I've been buying Series 1 players. That's what I've been doing the last couple days so that I can get all of these done. Because each one gives you a Hoff badge. It's an incentive to play the game. Maybe it's not very much of an incentive for casuals. I get that, but this is better for people that like play the game more than 6 to 8 hours a week. It just is. It just absolutely is. So yeah, that was the last one, man. Let me know what you guys think. I just really think that content creation is killing the game just as much as 2K is. Like, I genuinely do. So, because there's a lot of good in this game, and there's always good and there's always bad, and none of the good in this game ever gets talked about. It's just the bad, which that is not good at all. I just don't like to see that. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a like on the video, man, and I will see you guys in the next video.